Good afternoon. Happy Kwanzaa. This is Pastor Omar Muhammad here, going to do some work, but I thought I would take some time out to talk to you a little bit about Kwanzaa. See you. God bless you, Pastor Omar. Hanging out, trying to do some homework for myself, personal homework, before I go in and be with the family. And so today I'm talking about Kwanzaa. I don't know if you participate in the celebration of the cultural heritage of Kwanzaa, but I definitely do. I think it's very important. Kwanzaa is a African American holiday, cultural holiday. It's not religious, it's cultural, and it is designed to help people, especially of African descent, people who have experienced the tragedy of slavery in the modern ages, to recollect themselves, to get themselves together spiritually, mentally, emotionally, culturally, and to begin a process of healing and restoration. So the 7 principles of Kwanzaa are based on a overview of the African traditions and the spiritual heritage that was important to the African people, and so that's what it was. And so it's come to be now a pretty big holiday. I remember meeting Dr. Milana Karenga just a couple of days ago. Good to see you, Denise. I'm so glad you're here. And it just really blessed my heart when I was in Long Beach and got to meet him and just got encouraged by his work and what he was doing. So today is the first day of Kwanzaa, and that's Umoja, that is unity. And I'm thankful for everybody who's on this broadcast, because we are showing some sense of unity, some sense of collectivity. One of the things I think is very important that, and for us to realize and recognize that the power of life and death is in the power of the tongue, is what we heard about. Yeah, you did, finally. I'm so glad that you're here. And today I'm talking about Kwanzaa. I'm doing a special broadcast. I usually don't broadcast on Saturdays and Sundays unless it's something special. But this first day of Kwanzaa is special. We're just coming off of a great celebration of the Christ and the Anointed One. And I'm so thankful for that and the indwelling of the Christ in me. And he was reborn again in my spirit, in my soul, in my thoughts, in my concept. And I just was excited about that and share that with my family. And today I have great excitement because this is the time where I do a lot of reflecting just before the beginning of the new year. And I reflect on what it takes for us as a community of people, especially those who are descendants of American slaves here in America. What must we do to, as Bob Marley says, shake off that mental slavery? He said, none but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear of the atomic energy. None of them can stop the time. I love Bob Marley. I love that song that he does, Redemption Song, because it is that season. It is that time. And Kwanzaa is celebrated in that spirit of redemption time, that we have to break off. Okay, we are out of the chains. We're no longer slaves. So we have to break off mental slavery. We have to break off all this concept of, we're only our skin color. We are only a racial being. We are more than a racial being. We are a family. We are a community of individuals created in the image of God and in His likeness, and we are called to do a great work together. And we have especially those people who come from the African diaspora, who are part of the African heritage, whether you're from the Virgin Islands or wherever you're from. We have a collective heritage. We have some work to do, and the world has let us know that by the kind of things that we've been seeing in basically in our news, where we see a young lady. Her death in a prison, nobody gets blamed, nobody gets checked or anything like that. We see young men going to jails and going to prison. These things are really damaging to our community. They're damaging to our psyche, damaging to our children. Our children are watching and seeing these things, so we have to do a counterbalance. And for me, Kwanzaa is that counterbalance. When I light that candle with my children and say, this is a principle that we hold dear and true every year right after Christmas, they understand that, we roll right out of our spiritual birth celebration of the Christ right into some practical everyday activity. Unity and has to do with I'll be a unified. First of all, I add this. Now, Dr. Karenga doesn't necessarily do this, but I add this. We have the unity. We have to unify ourselves first of all with God. we are unified with God. I mean, because for me, I don't know how anybody exists or move without having a positive and direct relationship with God. It is extremely hard and difficult out here for us to do that, to be the men and women that God has called us to be without having a direct connection to God. So for me, the unity is you being unified in my spirit with God, with Christ, with the anointed one in me. Then I move from that unity to unity within my marriage, because me and my wife are married. So I shored up the unity that we have in our marriage, affirming her, let her know how much I love my wife and love my partner that God gave me to create new life into this world. We created children, 4 wonderful children. We put that together. We're holding the family together. We're unified as a family. We're not going to allow any situation to come in and break up our marriage. Oh yeah, it's been tried. Oh yes, but we have stand firm. Our unity stands together. We speak emotion over ourselves. We say we're unified. And even when the children now come in and try to divide us, oh, mommy said this and daddy said that, we're like, no, we are a unified front. We believe in truth. We believe in righteousness. We believe in holiness. We believe in you doing right, keeping your hands clean and your heart pure. So together we form that holy unit. So you can't pick us off. One say mommy say do it and one say daddy say do it. No, we're going to do what we're called to do. We're unified in that way. And then we unify ourselves in our community and the people that we walk around, the people that we share. It's a communal bond. That unity just keeps going, and it reaches all to all humanity and all creation. I for one, I hold the principles of Kwanzaa dearly, but I do not hold them to the exclusion of sharing that with all humanity, because the principles of Kwanzaa for me are the principles that all humanity can use to advance themselves, but especially those who have experienced the trauma and drama of slavery in America. So I just want to thank you for taking the time to listen to me. This thing is about unity in the community, unity in your life, unity in your home, unity in your family, unity wherever you are. You want to try to have that unity, but starting first with your unified relationship with God. That's the most important unity you have to have. Once you get that, you got everything else. You have the equipment to do anything else that you need to do. So this is Pastor Omar Muhammad. Remember, I am a proactive agent of change who communicates that other people might be healed, liberated, and appreciated. Today, we're making sure that we are breaking the shackles of mental slavery, because none but ourselves can free our mind. We have to do the work. We have to look in our souls. We have to find out what is it that's holding us bound. What is that that's keeping us tied up and not moving where God would have us to move. And so I say things like this. I've heard people say, so I want to put this out there. I heard people say, oh, black people can't never get together. I've heard black people say that. Black people can't never get together. Black people can't unify. And I realize this, that as long as we say that out of our mouth, it can never happen. We must check ourselves. We must say, you know what, I know that we can be unified, and our unification will not be the diminishing of any other nationality. It'll be just the unification for the healing and the upliftment of all humanity. Because when one part of humanity is oppressed, all of humanity is oppressed. When humanity start right, thank you for the love. When humanity start rising, all of us have the opportunity to rise. So before I go, if you'd like to interact with me at all on this subject, I am open to that. Other than that, if not, then I'm going to try to remain committed to at least giving one Kwanzaa meditation a day based on the 7 principles, and we'll see where God will take us from there. So if there's any kind of questions, any kind of dialogue, please feel free, open up your mind, start thinking about it. I want to encourage you, if you have not done so, you can look up Mulana Karenga, study, and just ask what are the principles, the 7 principles of Kwanzaa, and kind of get ahead of it, and then maybe we can meditate together on what we can do to be practical. One thing I'm being practical by doing this, I'm putting down different seeds. I've did it in print format. You can look at my Facebook and see, or my Twitter, and see the different things that I'm putting out, so that my children and the people who know me will say, Omar believed in some things. He believed in unity in the community. He believed in being unified first with God and then with all of humanity. So, seeing no questions, I want you to know I love you. I want you to keep your hands clean and your heart pure. Today, let's think about unity, and let's pray. Father, I thank you for the unity that we have in you. I thank you that you've given us the opportunity to communicate with you, so that all people might have what we call the reconciliation, so that we might be connected back to you, so we can be unified with you. And then once we have that unity with you, Father, let us get unified with humanity and all of creation. Let us walk into the harmony that you would have us to walk into. That's what the true essence, to me, of Kwanzaa Umoja. So it's Habari Gani. That means, what's the word? The word today is Umoja. That's Kiswahili for unity. God bless you. I'm out. Denise and all my friends out there, Crystal and all you, God bless you. I hope to see you again soon. This is Pastor Omar. I'm out.